have any question, just let me know. So first of all, from what we're gonna start is the author. So the author from the French will be author, and we have to know what is the meaning of this word. And when we go to the, for example, Cambridge Dictionary, we can see that this is the writer or like creator of the book, and it's connected with the literature most of the time. But everything gonna change in a minute. But we will go to the next slide, and we are in 1930s, and we are in the time when the cinema is so popular and Hollywood is working on, and they are doing annually 120 films, and they are like factory of the cinema. And in that time, if you ask someone by whom you recognize the film, obviously people gonna start say that this is the actor, this is the director, producer, studio. So we actually could say this, oh, I remember this movie because Greta Garbo is there, or I remember this movie because it's shot by Warner Brothers. So probably in 1930s, you will answer like this, but everything was changed in the 1950s when French start think, so by whom you recognize the film? And French people were the first people who answered the director. And this is the point when everything was changed. And from that point, everyone recognized the film by the director. So you can see the posters and there will be 100% the name of the director. So we go to the next slide, and we can see that the theory goes like what is the author theory? It goes like film director is the author of the film. And actually some people were agree with that, because some people said that yes, really it's the director work, it's the vision of the director. He's done everything in the movie, the visual part, the musical part, the colors, everything, because the director goes with full history and so on. But the other people say that's no, really, this is the work of the actors also, and work of the producer also, and work of the editor. But French people, they are more artistic people, because these 2 points of view, like the American point of view and French point of view. And French, they are so artistic, and they are people with style. And French were the first people which told us, no, the film is directors, and the directors done all the work, all the, like, he or she is the mother of the father of the film. And I guess they have really cool attitude to that. And as the Truffaut said, there are no good and bad movies, only good and bad directors. So French people are completely different people, and they go with their own concept. The concept of the film as an artist, and author of her work began like in Paris, and where filmmaking and critics reacted to the industrialization on filmmaking in the United States and Europe. Because really, the American just catch all word and gave a lot of products, but French people would like that the movie will be a like artistic creature, and they changed everything. So we go to the next slide, and I prepared for you a short, simple thing. Then when you will prepare for the exam, you can go to this slide and you're gonna know everything about the Auteur theory, about the history of the Auteur theory. So Can somebody help me to read in French?
The politique de Auteur.
Yeah, thank
Oh
you.
yeah, maybe I can.
So yeah, these words were born from Truffaut because he said it, and it was his like work, an essay, and like let's start. It started in 1950s, so you should remember this date. This auteur theory appears in France, so in the motherland of this theory, and it appears in a French film journal, Olesia.
Cinéma, cahier du cinéma.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this was the first film journal in France, and there was a lot of articles by critics, by film critics, and there were very meaningful, and critics like Truffaut and Godard was there, and they put a really nice impact for this journal. And this journal was born due, like, thank you to André Bazin and another Daniel Valcroze. There were two of them who made this journal and who actually also in this author theory, like they're inside of this theory. So, and after with this, we go to Truffaut and Godard, who in the future will be nice directors with their own voices and with their own styles, and like which we recognize from the first minute of the film. And by two of them, and also by lots of French directors, was born a French new wave. And as we know from the history of the world cinema, this is the so meaningful time for the cinematography, actually for the French cinematography. And also here we could see the camera stylo, and by the Andra Astruk. He said that the camera for the director is like a pen, so he could do whatever appears in his mind, and is like the same that the writer writes his book, the director shoot his movie. And we have like a person from the other side of the world, and the other side of the world, I mean States, and this is Andrew Saris, who made notes on the author theory in the America. Actually, Andrew Saris was the friend of Truffaut, so their comments on all this situation was quite the same. And you have to remember these notes on the author theory, and I will be talking about this in the next slide. But one person from the New York University, Professor Julian Cornell, is said that, I will read it, in the French New Wave, people developed the notion of the filmmaker as an artist. They didn't invent the idea, but they did popularize it. A German filmmaker who started as a German theater director, Mark Reinhardt, came up with the idea of the author of the film. He came up with around the themes, so director Truffaut and the French New Wave popularize it, or they revive it. So some of the Americans say, no, 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 it's not a French thing. It's a German thing. It was done before the French came up with that. This is not their job. It's the job of the Germans, but they just popularize it. But still, this author theory went from the French, and they done it very well. They explain it very well, that the director is the artist, that is director work is the artistic word. And after that even in law, we have that the director is the author of the film, and even right now in European Union, we have the law that all rights go to the director, not to the actor, not to the writer, not to the producer, but to the director. And I guess it's really well done work by the French people. So you have to remember it and understand it. And next we go to the next slide, and it's actually about Andrew Saris and his notes on the author theory. I found yesterday the book, like the small book, and I made a screenshot of them. Here I do, sorry. But I will read it also. As far as I know, there is no definition of the author theory in the English language, that is by any American or British critic. Truffaut has recently gone to great pains to emphasize that the author theory was merely a potential weapon for a given time and a given place. And I'm willing to take him at his word. But lest I be accused of misappropriating a theory no one wants anymore, I will give the Kafi critics full credit for the original formulation of an idea that reshaped my thinking on the cinema. And from this word, we have this Andrew Saris theory, and Andrew Saris a point of view, and what is the difference between author director and the other film directors. So he is decided to separate, like to make three circuses and make three levels of the recognition of the film author. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to close it somehow, the window, but I can't. So it's a technical competence. So the evident technical competence of the director, because Truffaut in the beginning said that there is no good or bad movies, there is a good or bad director. So this is the third level. The second level is a distinguishable personality. So we can separate one director from another director because he serves like his point of view, and like could give it to us to understand all that happened on the screen. And the last one, in the smallest circle, is the interior meaning, that author makes film that have layers of meaning and have more to say about the human condition. Films made by authors go beyond the pure entertainment spectacles produced by large studios to instead reveal the filmmaker's unique perspective on rumination of life. So I guess these three levels are very good explanation what is going on in author theory and why it's so important, and how to separate just a movie from the director's movie. So I guess it's simple and it's understandable. And we will go with the examples, because the Truffaut and Saris, they talked about lots of directors, as Orson Welles, as Alfred Hitchcock, and they tell that they are the greatest directors ever, that they have their own point of view and own something artistic inside. So the nice examples is Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, which is like we talked about that on the previous lectures, that is like a classic of the cinema. And to be honest, about each movie that I'm gonna talk right now, people say that this is really, meaningful cinema, and this is the classical one, and they are really have to be on the shelf with the classics movies. And next one is a film by Alfred Hitchcock, Notorious in 1948. And it was written and directed and produced by Alfred Hitchcock. And that is so nice because like full movie from the director, from the beginning till the end. And next we go with the Truffaut and the 400 Blows. I guess it's a like film by the genius. I like this movie so much, and when I first saw it, that was the first movie by Truffaut, and I went in love with this director. And I mean, I know his personal style from the like 1 minute of film or two because he was really legendary. And the next one is David Lynch film Blue Velvet. Also, a lot of people recognize the style of the Lynch, and many like film by him which we saw has really own like own and really meaningful style. And I guess this theory, author theory, it's important because we can see the really like cool work by the director, and we can see his soul in the film, and we could see all that he put there inside. And of course it's the work of the big medium as the editing, as the work with technique and so on, but I guess the director puts the whole vision inside, and the director tells the artist like actors what to do, how to act, how to react, how to live particular life in this film. And the director decide how it should like with the editing. And I guess it's nice that the French people came up with that, and the French people with their free souls. And I guess like a French people, they are the like moms and dads of the cinema because went to Brothers Lumiere's. They were the first people in Europe who did it. So I guess it's so symbolic that this theory came from the France. So, and I have actually a movie, like short video, educational video for you, but it's 17 minutes long. I could send you the link and you will watch it by yourselves, but it's really well done because a lot of examples and lots of names are there, but the most important names were in this presentation because we have no time, I guess, for that to watch it right now. Yep. And yeah, we will go. And that will be it for today. I guess it was understandable for you, and also this small guide, I guess, will be helpful for you when
And it
you
was
will
really
be.
nice that we got author theory because me and Lisa had a conversation like a year ago. We looked at the movie poster and she asked, why is always director on the poster, not producer, not anyone? And it was just a suggestion because when you hear the name of director, you actually kind of know what kind of movie it will be. But if you put producer name or someone's name, like, there will be like, okay. And when we got this author tier, immediately they like come back to the
Yeah,
discussion from 1 year ago, like, yeah, I was
yeah,
right.
that's it. Yeah, and I really was nervous because it's really important stuff, and I don't know how to explain it in the right way because to make a mistake is so simple. But
Yeah,
No, thank you. It was
yeah.
great.
I think
It was
this
really.
slide is actually very, very, very good, and it shows all the important things that you have to have if you have this. You have to know if you have this uh, um, topic. You know, if you say this, it is you know, it is all. Um, obviously we could talk about the Auteur theory for hours, but I want you to remember indeed that it is this post-war tendency of putting the director in the position of the author in the literary context. But again, I wanted to ask you, why is it not a director theory? Why is it not some sort of pro-director theory, or something that director is not there? The name. Is it only about director? And I want you to go to this slide when you have those three of the technical competence, distinguished personality, and interior meaning. Because I think here we have the answer actually to my question. That the distinguishable personality is only part. It's very important, but it's only the part. While technical competence, it's hardly director. Director says, oh yeah, do this, but it's not the director who is the editor of this. No? Yeah. So that is a really nice way of saying, okay, director is at the heart, kind of heart in, putting together this external forces and interior message, but obviously it is a teamwork.
Yeah, a body, like heart drives
exactly.
the body, but there's also a lot of important parts.
So the question why director is on the poster is not a ignorance about French theory. It's that there is something unfair about it, that the director as the name it's not an author in a sense. It's like it's signifying a team, in signifying a way of doing. This is why we say Hitchcockian something, or this is like a Lynchian or Lynch-esque thing, because it's not necessary about them. It's about the whole, as we have it here.
Yeah. And most of the times, directors have a team with whom they cooperate in their future projects, who they trust, they have more or less similar vision. And that's why a lot of times when you watch Tim Burton's movie, there will be actors there will be in Tim Burton, in their movies, also teams with video editors, cameramans, and DOPs and everything, because they have this kind of organism, like they connected and they understand each other. So when we see the name of the director, we also may know the team which works
working
with the director.
Behind of him.
Yes, that's why it's easier for us to know what we should expect of this movie, what kind of emotions it can arise in you, what picture you will see, because when you hear, for example, Tim Burton, you already know, so you have plenty of movies in your head.
When the same to the house, it will be so strange to say like this, but this is like a front door.